unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable.
Couple minutes on the score. Every time they wanna clash, the winners kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stop, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah.
It's Super Sunday here on the British Basketball League YouTube channel as we bring you the second of 3 games today as the Surrey Scorchers travel to Bristol to take on a Flyers roster out for revenge. It's 2-0 to Surrey so far this season, but wins for both at the moment are absolutely crucial if they want to secure playoff basketball. So expect fatigue to play a factor as both teams are playing the second game of a back-to-back. Josh Bett is alongside trophy winner and Cheshire Phoenix superstar Aaron Rye. Take it away, fellas.
Thank you, Jeanette, and welcome, British Basketball League fans. We're live here in Bristol for today's game between our hosts, Bristol Flyers, and the visitors, the Surrey Scorchers. Welcome, Basketball fans. I'm your commentator, Josh Bett, alongside trophy champion Aaron Rye, the Cheshire Phoenix. Aaron, first of all, welcome to your debut on the commentary. Getting ready for a big game.
Yeah, thanks to you for having me. You know, it's a lot more relaxing sitting here, watching and talking the game as opposed to running around out there. So glad to be here.
Well, welcome, of course, and now it's time to look at the starting lineups for these two teams, and we will begin with the hosts, the Bristol Flyers. Well, Coach Kapoulis will be going with a backcourt of Lucas Ollison. As I mentioned, the likes of Johnson, Levi Bradley will play as the power forward, and of course, the big green machine, Brad Green, will start inside. Your starting 5 for your Bristol Flyers. While the visitors, coached by Lloyd Gardner, they'll go with an experienced backcourt of Josh Still along with Justin Robinson. Mohamed Padilla Wang will also make up the backcourt, while the big man inside, Saquon Jameson, he's going to have a big job tonight. Well, we're going to talk about the bigs, Aaron, and we got to start with Bristol. The first player to look out for, who the fans should look for, this man right here, Brad Green.
Yeah, we all know about how dominant Brad Green is in the paint. If he gets deep position, it's 2 points. He's a beast on the glass and just key to what Bristol does offensively and defensively for sure.
Well, the player you want to look out for the Surrey Scorchers indeed is that man, Saquon Jameson. What a battle it's going to be tonight.
Yeah, we know Surrey shoots a lot of threes, but this man sets the screens, rolls, plays with energy, and plays in a different way that Brad Green does, but just as effective for the Surrey Scorchers as Brad Green is for the Flyers. So good matchup for sure.
Well, those two players look out for. Head coach Andreas Kapoulis is ready for action. Basel fans, we'll take a short break as Lloyd Gardner will be getting ready as well, and we will be back momentarily. Our three referees tonight: Gavin Williams, Firuz De Davaran, and not to mention Alexander Belkner. Are three referees that will be in action tonight. And we're very proud to say that we have some of the finest referees here in the British Basketball League. And welcome, fans. We're live here at the Bristol Hilton College as we get ready for this one. Tip-off underway. Green will jump this one with Jameson. Have to have a jump then. You know, Aaron, first of all, I want to ask you, you played it last night. What's it like coming to this arena and playing in such a very interesting atmosphere?
Loud, loud. You can't really see it on the camera, but there's a whole host of bleachers behind you, and they get up for their Flyers. So anytime the Flyers get some momentum, like the Spain pick and roll, if they hit a shot or hit Green down low, the crowd goes crazy, and then you hear it, especially bringing the ball up down the court.
Well, Green trying to post up here and getting the better of Saquon Jameson, the two players we told to look out for. It's going to be a battle of the bigs now. Good defense. Yep. But it looks like it's going to remain possession here too. Surrey Scorchers now. Looking at these two players, which player do you see having the advantage in certain areas of this game?
Well, inside in the post, definitely Brad Green. He doesn't like taking too many dribbles. He's obviously a lot bigger than Saquon, so he'll just go up with it off a hook shot right away.
Well, here comes Muhammad now, tries to make a bit of contact and getting it to go early on. Taking it right at the big man, your fellow countryman for that matter.
Yep, trying to get him out the game, whether attacking him offensively, get him in foul trouble, making him have to sit, so he's less effective for the Flyers for sure.
Surrey have had their struggles against Bristol in previous seasons, but at the moment, as we heard from Jeanette, so far Surrey having the better of the Bristol Flyers this year. Foul's gonna be called, I believe, against Justin Robinson. So baseline possession to the Flyers.
For a screen-to-screener action where Bradley's coming, Allison, I believe, coming to the ball, but Josh Steele's read it, clearly read the scout, gets in front of it.
Bit of a slow inbound play there from the Flyers, but didn't seem like Steele had to do too much there. I mean, Flyers need to wake up a little bit. No,
that's definitely the back-to-back hitting them for sure, and an emotional game yesterday against us, so see how they bounce back.
Bradley trying to go for a post-up here. Got it by Muhammad. It's good defense.
Loves that left hand, getting to the middle, but good defense by Muhammad for sure.
Wang trying to isolate. Got it heavily. Find Muhammad in the corner. To the three. He's up, no good, but still trying to battle again for offensive boards.
Bristol love that away action where they go to an away pin and then right to a ball screen. Get Lucas downhill to distribute.
Well, Wang with the rejection, but again, you've got, well, that's one thing. You might block him, but he's such a big body. You got to box him out.
Yep. Second shots, he's right there. He's obviously the tallest, so he's the first to touch the ball. So you got to get his body out there, and then the guard's got to come in and crash and rebound. But here's Saquon on the other end trying to do the same thing back to Brad Green.
Well, here comes Bristol trying to push this one. A foul's going to be called mid-court. Now, going back to the shot selection by Padilla Wang, we know he's the go-to option for this team, but is that a little bit too quick of a shot in the offense for the Scorchers?
I think so, but we know Surrey likes to go quick, and they spread the floor and let Padilla Wang and some of their ball handlers get downhill and spray to shooters if they help it. But here, I think Coach Lloyd has told them to maybe go at Brad Green, as we saw Muhammad the first possession, just to try to get him out the game and make him less effective, because obviously you can't score from the bench. Tried.
Flyers leading by 2 points. Going off one screen with Green. Fakes the pass, goes in. A little bit of a shimmy step there. The Flyers have an early 4-point lead.
It's been all Lucas and Green in the ball screen for the past 3 possessions. I think they're trying to jam and go under, which means the ball handler from Surrey goes under ball screen and meets Lucas underneath, but there got caught up, and obviously it's hard to fight over a Brad Green screen.
Robinson pulls up for a quick one. 3 is up, no good. Scorchers quite on the same level as the Phoenix, but both teams very similar. They do like to go with a volume 3-point shooting.
Yep. I think Scorchers attempt the most 3-point field goals in the league, so I'm sure they're not going to slow down, and I'm sure Coach Lloyd likes that look. Got to knock him in.
Lloyd Gardner, once a head coach of the Manchester Giants and the former London City Royals. Muhammad penetrating. That's going to be a foul. Any soccer fans watching probably will think that should be a penalty kick, because he was tripped inside the key, but unfortunately that rule is not quite as similar in the game of basketball. I know you're a big Arsenal fan, right?
Yep.
Okay, first of all, your team is thrashing my team today, but if that was soccer, that'd be a red card.
Or maybe a blue card. Did you hear
Maybe a
about
blue
that?
card. Yeah, the 10 seconds off. Yeah, it's going to take me time to get. Thankfully, they don't bring that rule into basketball. Well, Mohammed as well, another player from Canada. You know, seeing many players from Canada flourishing here in the British Basketball League, and even some British players going and playing in the CBL. You know, what is it like for those players and yourself coming to this league? You played in the NBL, you played very well for Hemel. How's the transition been for you?
I think it's really attractive because, one, obviously the UK, we speak English here, speak English in Canada. There's a lot of cultural similarities as well, and a lot of people as well have teammates from the UK who played college with them. So that sort of familiarity is always there, and nothing but good things are always shared. So connections probably going to keep growing as the years goes on.
Well, probably could bring a bit of Tim Hortons into the UK to improve things, but now a deep three coming up from no man's land. Lang with a big rebound. Now Surrey looking to push this one. Foul is going to be called in the midcourt. That's going to be the second team foul against the Scorchers. But you know, Surrey, one of those teams, they like to play quick, and when they're making their three-point shots in transition, you know, they play that very lethal run and gun style.
Yeah, and look for Bristol guards, just as they did yesterday, pick up Surrey guards full court, stop and get in transition. Lucas is one of the best in the league at that, coming up with steals and deflections.
Well, Lang finding still. This is good passing. Robinson misses last one. Goes for another three. Struggling to get it to go from downtown. Well, Flyers keep this one in bound. And, you know, talk about the rims in this arena. They're quite different from any other rim in the British Basketball League, Aaron.
You don't like speaking about that, but 95 rebounds yesterday in our game against Bristol. So expect for there to be a lot, and Saquon's going to love that. Crashing the offensive glass is what he does best.
Still stepping through, going in with a little floater, and that's a beautiful tuck there. We'll have to give a shout out to one of our international fans tuning in for this British Basketball League game, Gabby Chiono-Fuji from the Philippines. Welcome, brother. British Basketball League being streamed today currently all over the world here on the YouTube platform, and what a play there. Down has been picked up. Still makes a bounce pass. Muhammad goes in. Well, good block by Brad Green. Green's defensive presence, Aaron. He is tough.
Yeah, that's why it's the top of every game plan. Run, get him off the court, because once he's out that paint, it opens up for driving kick opportunities and finishing at the rim. Here he is again, deterring Josh Steele and another turnover. Bristol get to run, and their guards are lethal in transition over here. Ollison, Lucas, wide open three, and that should be a timeout by Coach Lloyd Gardner.
I think he's going to ride the storm there. I'd imagine the same thing. Not getting close to the halfway here in the first quarter. Surrey allowing three wide open looks for the perimeter, from the perimeter for the Flyers. Well, Muhammad finding Saquon Jameson. Trying to penetrate, trying to throw a tough bounce pass, but a foul is going to be called. That will be the third team foul against the Flyers.
Coach probably just going to wait for the media. For those viewers who haven't got accustomed to it, at every 5-minute mark of each quarter, after the first whistle up to the 5-minute mark, we get a media timeout. So smart of Coach probably not to waste his timeout and waiting for the media. Shows why I'm not a head coach.
not yet, that is. Scorchers making a change at the moment. But Cooper's still on the bench at the moment. Good at checking this game as Muhammad goes in again with a teardrop. Just can't get it. Saquon Jameson fighting, getting the and one, and he will go to the free throw line. Well, he is a beast.
Yep. Out-muscling Brad Green, maybe not as big, but plays with 5 times the motor as anybody else on the court. So he'll find a way to get his nose on the ball.
Well, Basel fans, we are going to take a short little break, and we will be back momentarily. Well, welcome back, Basel fans. Lloyd Gardner currently, his team, not off to a good start, Aaron. I mean, they haven't quite got the perimeter shooting going like they usually like to do. Again, sometimes you got to sink into the tempo of a game, of course.
Yeah, well, you know, with three-point shooting, it's a lot higher variance than two-point shooting close to the paint. So sometimes they'll shoot 50%, sometimes they'll shoot 25%, and they're getting the worst end of it to start. But they're not going to stop shooting, as we all know. So look for it to pick up going in, and Saquon's going to still be on the glass as long as he's out there.
Well, Jameson unable to convert the three-point play. 7-point ball game to the Flyers. Flyers, one of those teams, when they get into a rhythm, can't punish you. Surrey now going into 2-3 zone defense. Samuel's left wide open. It's an offensive, oh no, it's a turnover. Oh, interesting. Surrey going into that 2-3 zone defense with Bristol already having hit 3 3-pointers.
I think it's more to disrupt the rhythm. Usually when coaches come to timeout, they draw up a play against a man offense. So when you're bringing the ball down the court after the timeout, you see a zone offense. You're not sure whether to run the play or run your usual zone offense plays, and that usually takes a couple seconds off the shot clock. So that was probably Coach Kapoulis' idea right there.
Harvard trying to post up here. Use a bit of size, but a bit too much on it. Jameson fighting, but going back to what we just talked about for the fans watching, you know, the difference is, what is a 2-3 zone defense?
So instead of usually, oh, there's Brad Green on the offensive glass again, but instead of usually guarding a man, as most defensive possessions go, you guard an area. So there's 2 people on each elbow guarding the top, and usually you put your center, your biggest player, right in the paint in the middle. And as we know, there's no 3-second defensive call in FIBA. And then the final 2 players are on the wings, stopping any corner three-point shots or actions on the wing. So more of guarding an area as opposed to a man like usual.
Well, free throws coming up for Cam Good, and Bristol have already put Surrey into the penalty. And Bradley will leave the game now for the Flyers.
Cam Gooden off the bench is a massive asset for Coach Lloyd Gardner. You know, he had a great college career as we know from our scout at Cheshire, and he can score in bunches. So if he gets going, you know, he can really provide a punch for this Surrey offense, who's been quite stagnant as. And I just made him miss the free throws.
It happens to the best.
Apologies, Cam, if he watches this back.
Well, a player who's had to battle through numerous injuries this season. So Quinn Cooper into the game, and Gooden's going to pick up a quick foul too. That's the 3rd team one against Surrey Scorchers. Cam Gooden talking it over with our head referee Gavin Williams.
And you don't mind that as a coach, you know, a player coming off the bench trying to be aggressive, go for a steal when you're not in the penalty, you know, maybe ignite this team who's been playing a little stale on defense, stale on offense, and give your team a little bit of energy that they don't have.
Flyers leading by 6 points, just trying to find a way to break down this zone defense.
Here's that same zone where there's two guards defending the elbows, forcing up a tough shot by Edwards, and Saquon with an amazing job boxing out Brad Green. Tough task for any.
Interesting on the zone defense. They don't go with the traditional high-low there, but again, good perimeter shooting team is now still fires a 3. Getting the first tray ball for the Scorchers.
Breaking the seal, so hopefully more to follow for the Scorchers, get them back in this game.
6-0 run for Surrey here in just under 2 minutes. And this 2-3 zone, the disruption. Again, the middle so wide open. Nobody flashing to the high post. The deep perimeter shot coming again, no good. Jameson gets a rebound. Surrey can cut this down a 1-point lead. Maybe. Well, again, what a pass.
What a
Cooper, corner, 3, got it! Big time 3. Surrey do what they do best, Aaron Wright.
Firing threes, and we told you at the media timeout that there was not going to stop shooting threes, and Coach Lloyd hasn't told them otherwise, and it's paying out. So riding the variance wave, and they're right back in the game.
Well, what a dime you just saw there in transition. Again, Surrey, confidence team. When they hit their three-pointers, Aaron, they become tough to play. I mean, look, we saw the game that you guys played against them in the semifinals of the British Basketball League Trophy. Yo, there are dimes in the rubble if you think about it, but it's finding the consistency.
Exactly. You know, I think it's best when they get their inside-out threes. What I mean by that is when they run a lot of ball screen action, which is when a guard comes off, and usually their big man, Saquon in this case, will set a screen for a guard, getting the guard in the paint, causing the defense to collapse. And those inside-out threes are the ones you end up practicing more in practice. They're more in rhythm as you get more time and space for them, as opposed to some of the threes we shot earlier in the game where it was a one-pass shot, dribble-up shot, off a ball screen, step-back shot, which are a lot more difficult to hit, personally for myself as well.
Well, we got to give another shout-out to one of our international fans watching in Slovenia. So zdravo, kako se, brati Edvard Šudić. He's a regular watcher here of the British Basketball League. Currently watching in Slovenia at the moment. Welcome, brother. Big game we got at the moment. 14 apiece between the Surrey Scorchers and the Bristol Flyers. Cooper, now the other game going on at the moment. Newcastle Eagles currently leading against the Manchester Giants. 12-point lead for the Eagles. Eagles an interesting team this year, Aaron. You know, they're like a bag of rebels. When they're good, but when they're not so good, they're just not so good.
Yeah, and I'm impressed with them. We played them last week, but they just came off a tough one against Caledonia where they really battled from home for that win, and surprising to lead in the fourth against a Manchester team that's fresh on the road. So kudos to them, and I think they really hit their stride in the second half of the season.
The Lions currently in action against the Sheffield Sharks and leading by 10 points. Wang trying to isolate, twisting, turning, going up with it, just can't get it. Good defense by the Flyers. That's another tunnel, but you know, Aaron, question for you. You look at this 2-3 zone. I'm old school. I would like to go with the traditional high post, low post, the high-low.
Yeah.
How would you personally, if you were the coach, how would you like to break down this defense?
So I think me and Coach Kapoulas kind of see eye to eye. What he's doing is a lot of maybe ball screen overloading the wing or the corner where, as I mentioned, there's one guy on each wing and having two offensive players on that wing. So that wing has to defensively make up their mind whether they guard the corner or the wing and lead to open three-point shots. But I don't mind the high-low either. It's just new school, old school. But here it looks like they're in a man, and Levi Bradley likes that shot, misses this time, but he's hit a couple of those against us as well. And seems like a foul on the floor.
It's one of the Scorchers, yeah, on the box out.
On the box out. That's what Bristol does to you. Even with this small lineup, no traditional center per se, but they're going to crash the glass just as hard and make you foul them.
Well, Flyers looking to regain the lead. Samuel's bumpy, going in with a circus shot, can't get it. Now Surrey for the first time looking to take the lead.
And I don't love that shot by Samuels, you know. Much bigger guy on him when I think it was Trajan Lucas popping up for an open shot at the top of the key off the Spain ball screen action, which they love to run. And just quickly for the viewers, for that, there's a typical ball screen on the top, but they have a guard setting a back screen on the big men. After that, popping to the top, hoping for an open shot.
Spanish pick and roll, renowned by Sergio Scariolo with his national team. Many years of taking Spain to Eurobasket championships and, of course, to Olympic and World Cup basketball finals. Lawrence just gets knocked in the face. Now we've just had no bucket for a minute. Andrew Lawrence, well, what a shot he took there. Now, people need to remember, as a youngster, this man was a part of the Chelsea Football Club Youth Academy. So, if you think that's a frustration kick, that's what he used to do day in, day out when he was training with the Chelsea youth team in Cobham every week, but it was actually his own teammate.
And you can't fault him for that, you know. Once anybody gets hit in the head, all bets are off, and you're just trying to fight out there, hopefully get some vision in the eye, and no starts running, and it's just awful. So I don't blame him for that frustration kick. I don't think the refs did either. There's nothing harmful there.
Well, sons of the great Ronaldo Lawrence. Father set a record for most points in the game in the highest level before it was known as the British Basketball League. So I believe his grandfather was a goalkeeper, or maybe great-grandfather for Crystal Palace Football Club. So it's a family of excellence. Wang goes up, hangs up in the air, count it, gets the ab one. Well, His Majesty, the King of South Sudan's going to the free throw line. That's tough.
And there's the difference without Brad Green on the floor. When you attack that paint, you don't have a 7-footer waiting for you, and you feel a lot more confident elevating over the likes of Levi Bradley and Raph Thomas Edwards, who aren't small by any means, but when you can jump like Patty at Wang, you don't mind that at all.
Well, he's got the bunnies. He elevates. Out of that South Sudan team that qualified for the FIBA Basketball World Cup last summer, no, 2 summers ago actually. Unfortunate not to play for the national team this summer due to recovering from the knee surgery.
Here's Surrey back in the zone, and there's that high post shot that you love, Josh.
Yeah, just say, sometimes
Levi,
you got to go old school.
Yeah, don't listen to me. No more threes.
Then don't listen to me, then. Well, Bailey playing the center role here for the Scorchers. Finding Teo Ogadembe.
They're trying to keep the ball out of Patty Wang and Andrew Lawrence's hand, who are their best creators.
I ain't going to isolate. Got it by Rafa Thomas-Edwards. Oh, putting the bodies on. Beautiful move. Does he have the control? Looking like George Gervin in a Surrey Scorchers jersey. That was tough.
Yeah, that's why they wanted the ball out of his hand. We know that Patty Wang can pass, score at the rim, and here's Rafa Thomas-Edwards for a three. They should have went back to the high post, Josh.
Well, they found him at the mid-range.
And
Again, Levi Tossman. Go back to that move by Padilla White. It wasn't a finger roll. That was a finger roll. I mean, that was such a tough possession.
Ran the shot clock all the way down, and that's why we need to keep the ball out of their hands if I'm Coach Kapoulis and the Bristol Flyers.
Well, 5.3 seconds difference between game and shot clock at the moment. So Surrey, I mean, here we go. This is George Gervin-esque. That's a finger roll, and he didn't even use the backboard.
I thought a dunk was coming in, but
oh, I thought so too.
I was ready to get up out of my seat, but I think he's saving that for later on.
Just getting the buddies warmed up at the moment. 1 point lead to the Scorchers. Now we're under 10 here on the shot clock. Lawrence gonna go pick and roll Bailey, but he doesn't use a screen. Well, Lawrence throwing it right to the VIP section. Bristol will get it back with 7.6 left here in the first quarter.
If I'm Lawrence, I'm trying to pick up Tajon Lucas so he doesn't get a full head of steam or gets to roll the ball like he does. So for the viewers, the clock doesn't start as soon as you touch the ball on the inbound. So he's saved himself some seconds bringing it up the court.
Here we go now. Trying to isolate, kicks out. That was pump fakes, pulls up from 15, giving Bristol a 1 point lead as we head into the second quarter. Well, Basel fans, what a game we have. We'll take a little break and we will be back momentarily. Welcome back, Basel fans. Second half about to get underway here second quarter, between the Bristol Flyers and, of course, the Surrey Scorchers. The Scorchers will have first possession. Aaron Wright, currently my co-commentator for tonight, the trophy champion. Aaron, what have we seen so far here in the first quarter?
I think we've seen the teams play exactly how they do to style. Surrey shooting a lot of threes, cold at the start, and then getting going in the second half of the first quarter. But Bristol attacking the rim, offensive rebounds, mid-range shots. And here comes Lucas in transition, deadly as ever. And another mid-range that doesn't drop, unfortunately.
Well, here comes Scorchers now. Maya looking to spin around, gets caught between two players, and another finger roll. I wonder if he's been watching George Gervin highlights last night. I mean, it's just, the previous play, they got the spacer on, but look at this. Sandwich between two players. The rotation on that as it just kisses the backboard.
Yeah, he's deadly inside, and we know how good he is above the rim as well. So if I was Surrey, I'd keep going to him and attacking whoever they get on a switch off the ball screens, which happens pretty much every possession with this small lineup. So typically when Bristol have Brad Green in at center and they run a ball screen, they'll have Green dropped off the ball screen, allowing the guard to attack him and dare him to almost shoot over the 7-footer. But with this smaller lineup, a lot of the pieces are more interchangeable, so they'll end up switching the ball screens. And even though Raph Thomas-Edwards and Levi Bradley are great defenders, I think it's a tough task for anyone to stay in front of Paddy and Wang on those switches. So look for Surrey to keep doing that and keep attacking the rim and that. And Paddy and Wang, a gifted playmaker as well. So when he sees two, he'll kick out to the open shooters that Surrey loves shooting those threes.
The foul was called against Elliot Bailey. 2 free throws made by Raph Thomas-Edwards. Bailey just a little too slow to react on the help side. Was caught inside the zone as a secondary defender, but now he's under the bucket. No problem. Well, Surrey doing what they do best, Aaron.
Pick and roll, and there's the aforementioned Spain pick and roll, but Surrey running it this time, and the attention Quinn Cooper draws when he pops up to the top, left Elliot Bailey wide open under the rim.
Oh, we're gonna have to see the replay of this one because Ogundenbi does have his hands up, but was he too slow to get into position? Was he inside the restricted zone? Let's have a look. Wow, I'm gonna let you analyze that one.
I think he might have been standing, tilted to the side, maybe didn't take it straight on. I think that's what the ref is explaining to him as well, and Teo, a true professional, nodding his head in agreement.
Well, Newcastle coming up with a big victory away on the road against the Manchester Giants, a sellout crowd in Manchester. London Lions going all the way to Yorkshire to get a big victory against the Sheffield Sharks. Currently, Allison at the free throw line, tying the game about 23 apiece. So early stages here in the second quarter. This game in the British Basketball League between the Flyers and the Scorchers. Makes them both.
Here comes the ball pressure of Bristol. He's trying to slow Wang down so he doesn't get ahead of steam into that pick and roll.
Wang using the screen now for Bailey.
And that same Spain action guarded a lot better by Bristol this time.
Now we're into 10 here on the shot clock. Goes for a contested 3. It's up. Captain Fantastic with the rebound. There's a play you don't want to leave wide open. He curls the screen. Big time 3 by Quinn Cooper. Interesting story about his career. Starting his career in the West Bank of the Palestinian 2nd Division Professional League. I mean, his story is it's a huge success story. Very similar to yours, if that matters.
Yeah, somebody who just sticks with it, having a couple conversations when you're playing him. Great guy, really love his attitude towards the game, and I think it shows when he's always ready. As soon as he catches the ball, it's going up, and he's a true professional. He's always ready to play and shoot that thing.
Ogundenbi trying to isolate just a little bit too to the right there. And he's going to get called for the blocking foul. So 2 free throws coming up here for Bailey. A lot of good things he does provide to the Scorchers team, but now you can start to identify. Well, first of all, I don't think many people want to step out and take a charge there, but it's a good call though.
Yeah, wasn't squared on and tried to stop Lucas, which is Trajan Jacob, which is probably the right idea before he gets ahead of steam, but unfortunately didn't get him early enough, and 2 free throws for Trajan Jacob. He's a tough player to stop in transition. Lefty, loves getting to the rim. Had a couple dunks against us, and we know he gets out to the rim and also shoots the 3 very well. So kind of like a spark plug off the bench for Bristol, and doing just that, attacking Bailey and getting him off the floor.
What's interesting about him as well is that he's got such a high release. You got a high release, you tend to be a bit of a higher percentage 3-point shooter. It also makes you impossible to block. You try to contest the block, you then send him to the free throw line for 3 shots.
Exactly, yeah. When he makes his mind up that he wants to shoot it, you just got to do your best to deter him, get a hand up in his face, and hopefully make him miss in any way you can, because unless you're 7 foot tall like Brad Green, you're probably not blocking that. And I'm sure if Trajan Jacob sees Brad Green running out of him, he's going right to the rim for a dunk or a layup. So Tough player to guard
saw
for
Brad
sure.
Green running. I think they'd run away from him.
Yeah, I would too.
On 2-pointer hit from Robertson.
And that's the tough shots that Surrey started shooting at the beginning of the first quarter, which kind of got him to a little bit of a hole. So
Another deep three coming up for the Flyers. Now they take a 2-point lead.
and that's the issue, Josh, with taking those tough shots. And not everybody's in a rebounding position. Maybe you're in the middle of a play and you can't get back in transition. It leads to one of the best shooters on the court getting wide open, top of the key three.
Coming off one screen, finding Robertson. Cross court to Teo Condemis. Better ball movement. Cooper pump fakes. Can he go for his third three? This guy at the moment, Aaron, he is feeling the confidence.
And that's a way better three. One of the best shooters on the floor, inside out. Ball touched the paint. Pump fake. Sidestep, wide open. He probably practiced that 100 times a day. So like that a lot better than the previous shot by Justin Robinson.
There's a cross court pass. Ball reversal. There's the pump fake you talked about. And you know, sorry, the thing I love about this team is that they are a little bit wild, but I mean that in a good way. They like to run. They like to be quick. They have no problem taking early threes in transition. But as you mentioned, the setback to that is if you miss poor threes, you've got to get everybody back on defense, and then you got to pick up, stop the ball. There's an excitement factor, but then there's also the opportunity cost of trying to play that style.
Exactly, and I think that's a fine line that they try to manage. And I think Coach Lloyd Gardner is trying to teach this team, and you know they have a bunch of vets like Justin Robinson and Andrew Lawrence. And here's another one by Josh Steele. Set play, shot they're looking for. So that's the shot that Coach Lloyd Gardner is probably pumping his fist for.
Still making his second three-pointer. Flyers down by 4 points. Biggest lead so far for the Surrey Scorchers. Left, Bradley uncontested. Jameson comes up with it. Surrey looking to go up potentially by 6, maybe 7. Right now, slowly trying to build up a better offense. Mohammed's checked back into the game. Jameson now picks up his dribble.
Very stagnant, this offense. And not surprised it leads to a turnover. There's a pattern, and I think that every basketball fan, no matter how experienced you are, is when you see the ball get pinged side to side, a couple screens, ball movement, player movement, usually ends up with a good shot. But when players don't know where they're going, the ball stays in one person's hands for a while, might not necessarily lead to the best outcomes, and that leads for the other team to run out in transition like earlier where Allison got that wide open three. So I'm sure Coach Lloyd Gardner has said that multiple times, and it's, again, Josh, that fine line that I mentioned of, playing free, attacking, but also knowing what's a good shot and what's a bad shot.
Well, Andreas Kapoulis, head coach of the Bristol Flyers, they're going to have to defend an inbound baseline play here with 6 seconds on the shot clock. The Greek national moving to the United Kingdom, say probably in the early 2000s, and he brought professional basketball here to Bristol at Filton College. Started with the team in the lowest division, getting them to NBL Division 1. Well, Basel fans, next week, big week coming up on the British Basel League. It's on Sky Sports. Surrey Scorchers will be taking the long, beautiful journey on the plane to beautiful Scotland. They will head to East Kilbride to take on the Caledonian Gladiators. And that's a team played in the FIBA Europe Cup this season. They've shown some promising signs, but maybe it's the schedule, maybe it's the personnel, but bit of a roller coaster for Caledonia at times this year.
Yeah, I think at the start of the season, I think they were feeling the effects of the schedule. They were flying out to different countries midweek and then having to play British Basketball League games on the weekends. And I think they're finding a groove now, especially through the trophy. And right after that, they're playing some real good basketball. And they have the personnel to compete with just about anybody in this league, and especially with some of their personnel like Whelan, Paliza. If they're hot on those nights, they're gonna shoot the lights out, and glue guys like Prince Anwas and Ali Hodgins do a great job in keeping that team together.
6 here on the shot clock for the Scorchers. Wayne comes off one screen, takes a mid-range, struggles as Green secures a rebound. 4-point deficit now. Flyers trying to chip back. Comes a ball screen from Brad Green. Sorry again. It's that matchup man-to-man defense.
Brad Green pops this time, trying to do a Skylar White impression, but unfortunately can't hit the shot.
Similar shooting technique as well, right above the head.
I think Skylar shoots it a little better, but I'm a little bit biased.
Just a little bit, yeah.
And there's another one of those ball screen, sit behind threes, but when it's your best shooter, you don't mind that with Tevin Allison.
1-point ball game. Just over 5 minutes. Still trying to isolate, gets his pocket picked. Goes out of bounds, but that's going to remain Scorchers ball with 10 here on the shot clock.
look for maybe a pin down action or a quick ball screen with 10 on the clock. Saquon catching it, handing off back to Justin Robinson. And my Josh Steele here.
Made 2 threes. Can he go for a third one? Well, Robinson was in prime position to go for the weak side rebound. And now the Flyers can retake the lead. 5:03 to go in the second quarter. And Thomas Edwards will fire from no man's end. Both teams exchanging three-point field goals.
And I was going to say something about that shot because Brad Green had a mismatch on, I think it was Justin Robinson inside, but Raph said, never mind, I'm going to hit this anyways.
Nice penetration by the man of steel. We're locked in at 34 apiece, just under 4:40 here in the second quarter. Tempo's getting good in this game, Aaron.
Both teams are getting to a rhythm of exactly what they want. And here's Tevin Allison to the rim again. And I think each team, as you can see, heavy ball screen action where they have either their point guard or their two guard going into a ball screen and creating offense for them.
Well, Basel fans, we're going to take a short break as we're locked in, and we will be back momentarily. Well, back-to-back three-pointers from the Flyers did get them back in this one. They were trailing by as many as 4 points. Talked about the mismatch, but Rafa just said, hang on a second. Feel like I can knock this one down. It's almost become like the basketball stock exchange market between these two teams. Three-point field goals just coming in left, right, and center. I mean, who's going to have the higher interest rate? That's the question.
Yeah, and we know Surrey is a team who shoots a lot of threes, but Bristol kind of going outside their identity here. And off those ball screens, they'll end up attacking or hitting Brad Green on the roll, but I think Surrey's doing a good job at packing the paint and making them go to maybe a secondary option, maybe Raph Thomas Edwards from three or Tevin Allison from three, and they're doing a good job at knocking them down.
Kapoulis looking very calm, of course.
And here's that press coming in out of a timeout, out of a free throw, maybe into a man or a zone, just to throw off Surrey's rhythm. Take some seconds off the shot clock, and now they're getting to the offensive 12, 13 on it, as opposed to 20 or 19, as Coach Lloyd Garner would prefer.
Well, they've gone to a matchup, 6-0 on the shot clock. Robinson's gonna have to make a choice, but he goes to Wang. Wang has to put up a tough three-pointer. The press did its job, Aaron. As you said, they went back into a matchup, but they sliced time off the clock.
Yep, same thing that Coach Kapoulis did against us, and I remember bringing the ball up last night, seeing a 1-2-2 and thinking, what the heck am I going to do right now? So, worked well.
The same thing about his team. But presses are very interesting because you got multiple ways you can break them down. But ideally, when you're playing, is the emphasis always to get the ball to the middle, or are there other ways that you like to, when you're playing, you guys break it down?
Well, turnover here by Raph Thomas Edwards, not capitalizing. But at this level, I think the press does less to actually turn the ball over, but more just take time off the clock. So, a lot of great ball handlers in our league. They're not phased by the press, but they're more thinking to the second step with what are we going to get in, and can we get everybody in their right positions once I cross the ball off across half court. I'm not saying I'm a great ball handler, but that's what I'm trying to think. So
might not say it, but many other people might say it. Give yourself a bit of accolades once in a while. Don't worry.
I'm no Justin Robinson or LaQuincy Rideau, but I'll try my best. And here's Saquon taking it right at Brad Green, the matchup we looked for at the start of the game, and Saquon showing exactly why he's a force inside just as well as Brad Green.
He is a beast. Too big, too strong, and simply just too good. And even Tevin Ollison said, hey, I don't think anybody's going to stop you if you keep getting the ball inside the paints.
I think Tevin Ollison is telling Saquon that he traveled. And Saquon's laughing a bit, saying, yeah, I did, but the refs missed it. So hopefully the refs don't watch this back.
Well, he's probably said the mailman doesn't deliver on Sunday as well, but he's going to try to make this three-point play with 3:33 to go here in the second quarter.
And that foul was massive, whether Saquon converts a free throw or not, and he does. No commentator's jinx there, but that gets Brad Green right off the court, and now they're playing again Bristol with that small lineup due to Leslie Smith's injury, with no true center on the floor. So look for their guards, especially Patty Wang on the Scorchers, to be extremely aggressive off the ball
Surrey going
screen.
back to 2-3 zone. Thomas inside the paint, can't get it. Surrey lead it by 1. They've led by as many as 4 points. Wang trying to play up tempo. Bumpy going all the way, and he'll go to charity stripe. And it's that tempo we talked about, Aaron. When Surrey play quick, they become a nightmare to defend.
And that zone, again, maybe not the exact shot Coach Kapoulis wanted, but Raf Thomas Edwards thought it was a good look and wasn't an awful look, but that allowed Surrey to kind of get out in transition. And then Brad Green, not on the court. Patty Wang's eyes light up, attacks the rim, gets the line for hopefully 2 easy free throws.
Well, changes coming into the game here for the Flyers. It's Raf Thomas Edwards, the captain of the Flyers. He'll take a short breather. But Padilla Wang, chance to extend Surrey's lead. So he just breaks the first free throw.
See, I'm new to this commentating thing. I don't know not to tell the
you
viewers about the free throws.
Go on, you got to say it as you see it. It's not quite uncensored, but you know we like to express our opinions.
Well, at least he makes 1 out of 2. I'm going to stop talking about people's free throws.
2-point lead to the Scorchers. I think there might be an issue with the shot clock. It hadn't been reset correctly, I believe. Our referee, Gavin Williams, is just going to go over and speak to the table.
And you'll see this quite often, that when a team gets a dead ball in the backcourt, like free throws or a timeout setting, that's when you see the press to the zone pop in. And as we mentioned, Surrey like to sit in that 2-3 zone, but now they're switching to a 3-2 where they have Patty Wang as a top guy, but he's sitting in the high post, kind of daring Lucas to shoot that three-pointer, that no pass three-pointer, and also playing 2 and guarding the high post as well.
Well, interesting. They changed the zone up a little bit. They've now gone to a high 3-2 zone. Well, Jameson turning it over. Can Bristol capitalize? There's a teardrop. And again, BEA, beautiful play. Allison with just a little teardrop of death, and now Mohammed goes in, hangs in. Again, he's got to make that one. Flyers looking to retake the lead. Well, Allison putting up for no man's land. Well, maybe just be a little bit too quick of a three-pointer. Bristol get the offensive board. Well, Bradley takes a long time to get the shot up, but again, no problem. There's a heat check you just mentioned. 2:30 to go. Flyers back up by 3. Gardner's going to call timeout, and this guy may have the slowest release in the British Basketball League, but you can't let him shoot it, Aaron.
It's above his head, and he almost made the game winner last night against us. I was under the rim praying it went to the left, but different outcome here, and he's feet set, can knock him down quite well, and that's that pick and pop threat where if I'm Coach Lloyd Gardner, I'm saying, hey, if he's popping to the three-point line, we might as well switch that, because we got Tajon Lucas coming downhill at one of our bigger players, and then we can keep a guard out on the perimeter on Levi Bradley on the pop. So I don't hate that switch, especially because Brad Green's on the floor. He's not rolling and taking up real estate in that paint.
Flyers almost have 4 players in double digits, both Lucas and Thomas Evans with 7 apiece. Just goes to show the depth this team does have, and they're on the day, of course. No Leslie Smith, no Roel Graham-Bell, so they are short-handed.
Yeah, and you can see that in the front court minutes, especially when Brad Green has 2 fouls in the first half, and now Ralph Thomas Edwards, I believe, has 2. They got to play that small lineup with 4 guards and 1 big, and it's effective on the offensive end, but maybe you're giving up size with Saquon Jameson and Muhammad attacking the rim for the rebounds, and Patty Wang attacking the rim off a ball screen.
Well, Lloyd Gardner, head coach of the Surrey Scorchers, played in the British Basketball League in the early 2000s with the London Towers and the London Leopards. Spent a lot of time playing in the NBL with clubs such as the Reading Rockets. Also got into the coaching ranks with the Barking Abbey Academy. So many people may not know that Lloyd Gardner, also an international basketball commentator, many times has gone to Eurobaskets, World Cups, Olympic qualifying tournaments. But at the moment, his team turned it over again. Now it's a 3-on-1. Well, that's good defense by Muhammad. Had his hands up, didn't contest it. But again, they throw it right back away.
And Lucas, one of the best in the league at steals, and leads to a wide open 3-pointer that Keddy Johnson cannot convert.
I don't know what's more disappointing, the fact Surrey can't take care of the basketball, or Bristol go for 3-pointers when they have a 3-on-1 in transition.
They're making me look real like I'm not knowing what I'm talking about, because I was saying the press doesn't bother people at this level and turning it over, but that's 2 back-to-back turnovers off the press for Surrey.
Oh, you made a very good point there, but I mean, maybe it's not so much the press, it's more the lackadaisical errors the backcourt make as the Flyers go for another 3, but another offensive board. Just can't finish it.
And I think that's where the fatigue sets in, Josh, where they just played yesterday, and it's physical fatigue as well, but that mental fatigue and those mental errors lead to those turnovers.
Lawrence, quick 3 off the full screen, can't get it. Flyers looking to go up by 2 possessions potentially. There's no little teardrop. Well, this team, they know their home court, they know the sweet spots, and they lead by 5 points.
If I'm Coach Lloyd Gardner, I want a methodical, well-drawn-out offense here. Looking for a pin down for Cooper. They get, I believe it's Ollison on a hold over there.
That's only going to be the 3rd team foul against the Flyers. They do have 1 more foul to give. Sorry, if they play the cards right here, Aaron, they could go 2 for 1.
Yeah, and I think they're taking Ollison out here just to prevent him. He's got probably 2 right now, so I'd imagine Coach Kapulis wants to play it safe because he's going to be playing down the stretch and need to close this game out for Bristol.
14 on the shot clock here. Scorchers inbound his baseline, finding Jameson. Morris trying to find Quinn Cooper's made 3 threes. Can he make 4? This guy, somebody call the electrician as he is shooting the lights out, Aaron Wright.
Yeah, well-designed play by Coach Lloyd Gardner, and you saw Quinn Cooper running free, and somebody must have missed him. I don't know how you missed the guy who's already hit 3 of them, but they did, and he made him pay. Professional as always.
6 on the shot clock now. Jacob step back.
And there's that 3-2 zone with Patty Wang playing the top and playing flat as ever, and Quinn Cooper, I thought he was going to let a 5th one go.
I think that's a smart decision though, because I think he's realized 1 or 2 seconds difference. Let's get the final shot here in the first half.
There's that experience playing out here, and smart foul. I think that's the 4th, so Andrew Lawrence is not going to be shooting, and they're going to have to take the ball out again and try to get something with 7 seconds on the clock. So as a coach, you like that, a play on the ball, nothing unsportsmanlike, but having the Surrey Scorchers to reset and look for that same play maybe for Cooper to run off the double screen to the corner. And
here he comes now. Cooper has got to get something going. Penetrates, puts up a teardrop, just can't get it. Well, Basel fans, at the end of the first half, it is the Bristol Flyers who lead this one by 2 points against the Surrey Scorchers. We will take a short break, and as ever, we will be back momentarily. Welcome back, Bristol fans. Second half about to get underway here between the Bristol Flyers and the Surrey Scorchers. I'm your commentator, Josh Bennett, alongside trophy champion of the Cheshire Phoenix Knicks Nation, Aaron Wright. Aaron, I mean, this game, it's gone how we expected. Both teams playing very exciting basketball.
Yeah, I think actually a little unexpected with Bristol shooting more threes than Surrey, so who would have predicted that? But Bristol actually shooting more shots at a lower percentage because the turnovers from Surrey.
Well, now we take a look at the statistics. I mean, Aaron, what can we make from these stats? You mentioned that Bristol taking more three-pointers, which isn't a regularity. But what can we say about the other statistics so far from this game?
Yeah, we know that Bristol guards do a great job pressuring the ball, and we saw that press in the second quarter with 5 steals and hence 7 turnovers by Surrey. And then as well, Bristol leading the glass as expected, probably due to the offensive rebounds, leading to them having more shots. But Surrey actually converting at a higher percentage. So when they are keeping care of the ball, running good stuff, they're getting good looks and hitting shots, as we saw Quinn Cooper 4 made threes, I believe. And so I'm sure Coach Lloyd Gardner is a little bit furious with those steals off the press, but just telling his guys to execute and get good looks, and they'll stay in this game and win it, hopefully.
Well, let's relive the big action here from the first half as we give you the story of the half, and you mentioned it. Players look out for Brad Green. They went to the big fella on the first option, but you know, Brad Green, if you miss the first one, you still got to box out the big fella.
Yeah, and I think that shows the effectiveness of Brad Green, and that was Surrey's game plan. Get him off the court, attack him on pick and rolls, and make him have to play at the rim and hopefully foul. And then when they go in that smaller lineup, then they can ping the ball around, attack the rim, kick out for threes.
Well, there was the penetration by Cam Good and finding Josh Dill, the Surrey's first trade ball, but that might be play of the week there. Little tip pass, finding Quinn Cooper. And here's what I like to call the Iceman, hanging in the air at the moment. And, you know, that was the high-low play we talked about. But, you know, look at this play, Aaron. He is simply unstoppable at times.
Yeah, and that's, again, without Brad Green on the court, so Patty Wang has so much space to maneuver, and when he's going downhill, he's a tough man to stop for sure.
Well, Cooper hitting 4 threes so far here in the first half. He has been on fire, but, you know, you mentioned it, both teams 6 three-pointers at the moment. I mean, they are just having fun moving the ball, the pump fake. And you can see QC now nailing from downtown, still with his second one. I mean, we're in for a buffet tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're going to stop shooting. At least I don't predict so. So we're going to be interested to see how each team shoots in the second half and which team can impose its style on the others.
Well, of course, both teams are going to be trying to go for the victory. Quinn Cooper hitting his last three-pointer. And at halftime, there's your score. Well, Bristol fans, we're going to take another short break, but we're going to show you the highlights from last night. You get to see Aaron as he went up against the Bristol Flyers, but also we're going to show you the highlights between Surrey and Plymouth. You might need to get the brooms out because I sense a sweep.
Dusha collects it for the Patriots. Wiley at the elbow. Nice pass to Levi. He goes to the right hand. Slips through it, Levi. Dusha goes all the way.
Oh, goodness me. Good finish from Abdul Mohammed there.
And now an interception here for Steele. Andrew Lawrence ahead of him. Lawrence with the easy lay-in for 2. Another steal for the Scorchers. Ogadengbi, Lawrence, Jameson taking off right hand. Good to go. Last few seconds of this one then. Jules Dangakodo goes all the way on the money. Big play for Jules Dangakodo, a much needed bucket. And it's only a 4-point game. TJ Atwood continues to score. Nice pass there from Steele, just a little bit over the shoulder of Okasieme. Otherwise, it was showtime. Here's Copeland in the corner for 3 now. They need it, and he's got it. Oh, nice block there from Copeland on the defensive end. Joe Hart now has to deal with Saquon Jameson. Dusha throws it up to Levi. Alley-oop layup.
Beautiful play there. And
Lawrence across. Bailey, money! Elliot Bailey knocking it down. Wang. Bailey was waiting, but that's a beautiful bounce pass inside to Jameson. Atwood across to Green. Green firing up once again. One pass, one shot, but it works for him. Here's Padilla Wang now, swiped away from Joe Hart. That's great defense. Cam Copeland in transition, punching the play, and all of a sudden, this game has shown us some energy. Robinson, touch pass, that same touch pass from Lawrence again. 4-point game, clock winding down. Needs this Copeland. Three's good, oh my goodness, Cam Copeland. He's gone for the miss, and that will be the ball game. Saquon Jameson without a rebound, sneaky rebound onto the end of his tally there. The Surrey Scorchers do the clean sweep of the Plymouth City Patriots. Wow, look at the hand strap on Brad Green. He had 3 guys trying to rip the ball out of his hands. Right, needs to look up to find his teammates, does just that. And going all the way again, Cam Kristen finishing at the rim. Screen coming now for Kristen, offsets it. He's just gonna go alone, no, and won't count it. Cam Kristen is on fire right now. Oh my goodness, that might be the 3 of the season. Check the footwork on that, Keedy Johnson. Lucas drives to the right hand and a nice little return of points here for the Bristol Flyers. Get a nice look here, Cheshire Phoenix. Kristen blocked away by Brad Green. He said, I had enough of you pouring points in my bucket. Here's Jacob flying through the defense. Aaron Wright is going to eat him up on the way to the bucket. That's a mismatch all over. Calling for the screen from Green, but he rejects it. Nice work there from Lucas. The pass into the corner. Skylar White, he's going to let it fly, and he's going to rattle it in for 3. Goodness me. Huge triple. As now Lucas, he's on the prowl, gets the steal, bounce pass. Thomas Edwards. Oh, looked like it could have been an and one, but Cheshire breaking out. Rideau, he'll finish on the other side of the rim too. Stolen away. Johnson behind the back. Showtime. White, he wants it again. Come here, Brad Green. Skylar White is playing point center. Aaron Wright, and 1 punches the air between the legs. He's got to go here. He does go. It's a 2-point game. And another timeout call by Coach Ben Thomas. They were running out of ideas. Now here's Bristol's chance. Are they going to win it? Are they going to go to overtime? Bradley for the win. No! And a rebound for Rye as Cheshire Phoenix escape the Wise Arena with the victory. The streak continues. 9-0. Cheshire Phoenix are 9-0 since their trophy campaign. What an incredible finish to this game.
Welcome back, Basketball fans. We're live here in Bristol for this game in the British Basketball League between the Flyers and the Surrey Scorchers. Well, I'm your commentator, Josh Bett, alongside Aaron Wright, British Basketball League trophy champion, and quite a nice guy as well. Aaron, first of all, we got to talk about Padilla Wang, the king of South Sudan.
Yeah.
8 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. I mean, these are near triple-double numbers at the moment.
I think you can see how deadly he is, both inside and creating. So when he has a bigger guy on him and there's no help side, he's finishing on the rim. But when you send 2 or send 3, he's going to find those Surrey shooters, Quinn Cooper, Josh Steele, hitting all those shots.
Well, you can see Tevin Ollison. I mean, he's had a good game so far from the perimeter. They're going to win tonight. He's got to continue to deliver tonight, Aaron.
He's one of those guys who can do it all, you know, shoot behind the screen, attack off the bounce, find his guys. So he just got to create for his team and keep going to push those Bristol Flyers, hopefully, to a win at home.
Well, Ollison's had a good game so far here tonight for the Flyers. 12 points, currently with 3 rebounds and 1 assist. Well, if you look at the category so far for the Flyers players, he is the leading scorer, followed up by Levi Bradley. But going back to this map, Padilla Wang, already halftime, 2 points, I mentioned, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists away from that triple-double tonight. But, you know, that won't be the individual accolade he wants. He wants to make sure his team come out with back-to-back victories, because if they win tonight, they're 1 win away from Bristol in the table.
Yeah, and I think that competitive nature almost fuels his stats, and not stat hunting himself and just playing the game the right way will end up leading him to get maybe a triple-double with all those assists and points and rebounds.
Well, here we go now in the lane, can't get it. Robertson with a rebound. Well, Surrey looking to tie the game up, maybe take the lead here with a 3-pointer.
He's a guy I'm looking to get going as well, Justin Robinson, one of their main creators and shot makers. And Josh Steele again with another assist from Padilla Wang. So building that triple-double resume right there.
3rd 3-pointer of the game at the moment here for Josh Steele. Lucas Ollison currently in the backcourt. Keely Johnson now trying to penetrate. Pulls off in the mid-range. Tough play, can't get it. Jameson battling, but Wang does enough there. Surrey have led by as many as 4 points. He pulls up for a quick 3. He struggled tonight, but no problem here in the second half. And this is the biggest lead of the game, as we saw in the first half for the Scorchers, Aaron.
Yeah, that time nobody picked him up in transition, and one of the best shooters in the league steps into a wide open shot. You got to love that if you're Coach Lloyd Gardner.
Well, Green goes to the mid-range. Usually his bread and butter. Wang battling, but I think they're going to call a foul. Well, yeah, they're going to call this against the Flyers, I believe. Well, when it rains, it pours. You know one thing, you may need to bring your umbrella if the Surrey Scorchers get it going from downtown. Reminiscent of a team I know called the Knicks. I'm not talking about the New York Knicks.
We love to shoot him too, and Skylar White, I think, hit a couple from that position up top in the second half, big ones, so remember that all too well.
Well, Wang gets his pocket picked. Muhammad dives on the floor. Back to Muhammad under basket, getting rejected. Well, Green just said, not in my house. Take that one back to very lovely Surrey, but you're not welcome in the West Country.
Green showing exactly why he's so valuable to Coach Kapoulis, both defensively and offensively. They're protecting the rim. No easy 2s when he's in the paint, for sure.
Well, definitely, as you said there, no easy 2s, taking no prisoners. Trying to get a handoff. Splits the defense now. If he makes it, it will be an +1. Good penetration. Flyers looking to cut this down to a 1-point ball game.
That's when Keely Johnson's at his best, going downhill, attacking the rim, drawing fouls. He's one of the best at drawing fouls in the league, and he converts his free throws at a good rate. And hoping and praying that I don't jinx him again like I did Paddy at Wang in the first half.
KJ currently at the free throw line. Again, tempo will be key here in the early stages of the second half. Converts a 3-point play. The VIP fans enjoying the occasion. This wonderful fan base, as you mentioned, the fans are on this side of the building, but they can definitely make a very intimidating atmosphere in here.
Yeah, they're basically beside you, and Justin Robinson with one more 3 off a Paddy at Wang assist, and that's music to Coach Lloyd Gardner's ears.
2-time most valuable player of the British Basketball League. Wang goes up, just does enough there.
Lucas Sloan to get up. 5-on-4 for Surrey. Look for Josh Steele on the skip for an open 3, and Nope, never mind.
Saquon goes up, and again, it's the presence of Brad Green. Flyers looking to cut it down to a one-possession ball game. Patience needs to be the virtue in every offense. No need to push the panic button. Well, they want to go down to Brad Green, but Jameson trying to prevent the post entry. Now we're under 10 here on the shot clock, and there's the foul committed.
On the floor, so not a shooting foul. If Jameson were to foul, that's probably the smartest time to do it before Brad Green gets in his shooting motion. Because once he gets in that paint, it's hard to stop at 7 foot tall.
Well, Jameson definitely has his work cut out tonight, but if there's any post player what's Jameson, about 6'7", 6'8", you reckon? Or?
Yeah, but he plays like he's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
That energy and motor makes it feel 6'10" because of how often he crashes the glass. There's Kenny Johnson again to the rim and just can't get the roll there, but I like that aggressiveness from him. Putting pressure on that Surrey defense.
Well, good Bowman finding Steele. Well, back to Steele, left wide open. He's made 3 threes, make it 4, and he makes it a 7-point ball game as Andreas Kapoulis has to call timeout. The biggest lead on the game now for the Scorchers. Well, look at the defense. Well, somebody reported a missing person case because he was left way too wide open. Well, Basel fans, indeed the greatest players in the British Basel League will be coming together at the Copper Box for the British Basel League All-Star game, and you get to decide who will be playing in that game. Check this out.
The game of basketball requires a high level of concentration, advanced physical skills, and a deep knowledge of strategy.
It's also an unbeatable fun.
That's what I'm talking about.
Nothing beats unbeatable basketball.
Get it, boys.
Nothing beats high-flying dunks. Nothing beats three-pointer from deep. Wow! Woo. Nice. Nothing beats selecting your favourite players from the north and south. Nothing beats the best basketball entertainment. Watching the UK's best ballers. The sickest skills in the UK. It's the All-Star game, baby. Unbeatable All-Stars. March 17th, London Copper Box.
Well, make sure you go to the website of the British Basketball League to put in your votes today. The British Basketball League All-Star Game live at the Copper Box in the beautiful district of Stratford in East London. Well, there's your QR code. Don't need to go to the website. Use that QR code and maybe vote for Aaron Rye if you want to get a selfie and an autograph.
And here, back to the game. Surrey's in that 3-2 zone defense with Patty Wang roaming around that free throw line, playing off the top of the key, daring them to shoot, getting a steal.
Here we go, here we go,
Showtime.
here we go! The king of South Sudan. That's what I like to call the high conversion rate from turnover to transition throwdown by His Majesty. Lay the throne down, Padid. Lay the throne down.
Another quick timeout by Coach Kapoulis. Does not like what he sees from his team. And I think, again, that zone did its job, you know, taking Bristol way out of its rhythm, especially right after a timeout and leading to Surrey, I think, on an 8-0 run right now, Josh.
What's interesting about the Surrey Scorchers? I mean, last year you were playing in the NBL, so I'm not quite sure how much you were able to see from them last year, but so many injuries, players coming in and out of the squad. And, you know, rightly so. I'm all about fans having their opinions. And I think that creates conversation is what this league needs. And you always get mixed opinions about the Surrey Scorchers. I got to tell you, for a club of this size, this magnitude, he has done a phenomenal job with Dan Clark of recruiting the right personnel for what they have. And you know what? To be where they are now as opposed to the last 2 years, it's a massive improvement. And hey, to sweep the Plymouth City Patriots, a team that's caused them so many defeats over the past few years, it's massive improvement from the Scorchers.
And I think that shows to the culture they're building around winning. And, you know, maybe last year when I was tuned in, or a year before, you would see them slip up in those games down the stretch. And now they're converting to wins, and that really creates a culture of belief and, around the team. Only thing that leads to is more winning, hopefully.
Well, here we go now. Trying to get something going. Cross-court pass going in the corner. What tough catch there. Nice penetration. Can the Flyers get something? Oh, no. We got an
think
Faratoto.
maybe an out of bounds call from Jacob stepping out of bounds. Couldn't really tell you.
Interesting decision there. But it does give Surrey the chance to make this a double-digit lead. Bristol, another team that's caused problems to Surrey over the years.
Back to that ball screen action. First time doesn't work, try again.
Robinson finding Wang. Can make it a 12-point ball game. Big time three-pointer by Padilla Wang. Not renowned for his three-point shooting, but he does knock him down from time to time, Aaron.
Yeah, given that much space, you know, he's a professional player, and he'll make you pay for that for sure.
Well, they got to make this one. This would be a good response and a much better play by the Flyers. And what that does now, Aaron, is emotionally keeps them in the game.
There's that high release from Trajan Jacob, you know, really hard to block. You got to get out to him, make him uncomfortable, make him miss, and he did a good job of hitting that shot.
Second one, finding Justin Robinson. In the corner, Mohammed. He'll try a three, just a little too flat, but good defense by the Flyers.
Good inside out look there. You don't mind that at all.
Green getting a handoff. Trying to go that ball screen scenario. This is good defense. Well, another deep Hail Mary three, can't get it. You had two Flyers players chasing the offensive board. Wang left wide open, made his last three, makes this one. Both teams going back and forth on a third timeout. Well, no, actually, Basel fans. 4:57 to go here in the third quarter. Surrey lead this one by 12. We'll take a short break, and we will be back momentarily. Well, Padilla Wang, not renowned for his three-point shooting, but when he gets it going, he can be very consistent and lethal. So two back-to-back three-pointers coming from the King of South Sudan. But Aaron, plenty of time here for Bristol. No need to push the panic button.
Yeah, I think the last thing you want to do if you're the Flyers is make sure that you try to go for a long-range bomb. That's, I don't think, any part of Coach Kapoulis' plan. You want to chip away possession by possession. There's no 12-point shot in basketball. I think we've been working on a 4-point shot, but no 12-point shot yet. So you need to go possession by possession, stop, score, slowly chip it away, and hopefully cut it to about 5 or 6 going into the fourth, and then it'll be a game. As we can see, Bristol catches up with just about anybody.
Surrey in that 2-3 zone. Get a wide open look. Ollison's been good in this game, and again, keeping them in this one. Patience is a virtue.
And I think that time, Coach Kapoulis almost prepared for the zone, knowing that after each timeout, Coach Lloyd Gardner was in his zone. So drew up maybe a play to get Tevin Ollison a wide open three in the corner.
Now we're under 10 on the shot clock. Wang with the ball in his hands. Got it by Jacob Hitt now trying to go to the bucket. Find Saquon Jamison. Dying moments. That's good execution. That's even good, you know, credit to the Flyers. That's good defense.
Great defense. Wang really patient, waited for Brad Green to jump in the air and step up and dump off to his big man for a wide open layup.
Well, does he get the ad one? No, he doesn't. That's better from the Flyers. Look to attack the zone somehow. That's a good call as well.
I think it's that bump from Steele on Lucas.
Well, Lucas may have to leave the game here, unfortunately. So, interesting. Did they not call that a shooting foul? Well, he's got some blood drawn up there, so.
I think they did, but I'm not sure if, is it Coach Gardner who gets to pick to shoot, or Coach Capoulas gets to pick one of his players. If I'm Coach Gardner, I'm finding the worst free throw shooter.
I am not going to give my guess on that one. I don't want to get into too much trouble, of course, but that is a...
I should know the rules about this, but I'm not too well versed.
I feel just as bad, don't worry, but what's interesting, it was only a couple of years ago when I started in the broadcast world that if you score a basket in your own hoop, the points, I believe, go to the captain of the other team.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I started.
Yeah, Maceo Jack on our team gets all the points for the other team scoring on their own basket. So.
Oh, that's not. I'll get to have a word with James Bryce about that.
He's got enough points as it is, right? We got to give it. I'm going to try to give it to Dan Rudd or something like that. You know, he needs some. He's got one on the season with a technical free throw.
Well, again, a big game right now between the Scorchers and the Bristol Flyers. Many fans tuning in all over Europe and all over Asia. We got fans in the Philippines, Gabby Chionofuji and Edvard Sudic, currently watching in Slovenia. So welcome to the international fan base of the British Basketball League at the moment. Lonnie Jameson catches a tough one. 7 here on the shot clock. Jameson got it by Bradley. Steele is wide open. Now Mohammed's got to take a tough one. Gets his own rebound, and he gets rejected. That's going to remain Scorchers' ball.
And I don't know if Jameson made that right decision there. Unselfish play for him, but if I'm him and I see smaller Levi Bradley on him, even if the double's coming, I'm going to go right up over him and make him either foul me or get an easy 2 points, because I think he could finish that as opposed to kicking it out with maybe 3-4 on the clock and then putting up a prayer instead. Inbound play for Surrey. Quinn Cooper coming off a screen or Mohammed to the rim.
Fresh off the bench as well.
And there he is.
Fresh off the
Right
bench.
on cue.
Ice cold in the veins.
That's a true professional right there.
Again, a bit of a bully basket by Rafa Thomas Edwards. I'd like to see them go down to the big man. Lawrence, 2012 Olympian with Great Britain, where he played alongside Luol Deng and Joel Freeland, 2 British NBA players. Deng, of course, now president of the Basketball Federation of South Sudan. Time wanted down. Wang's got to take another one. He's made 2 here so far. And again, at the moment, everybody is making 3-pointers. Not just the Scorchers, but also the Flyers.
No sign of fatigue. You would never guess both these teams played yesterday. And tight ones as well. They're both on fire, hitting shots like it's the first game of the week. It's a great pass by Kenny Johnson finding Levi Bradley. I thought he slipped, turned it over there, but making something out of nothing. Now they just need to get stops. You know, at this point, trading baskets, keeping it a double-digit game, they need to find a stop in them. Maybe turn them over, get an easy run out.
Well, backdoor finds Wang, goes in, misses the dunk. Good help side defense. Flyers looking to cut it down to single digits. That's got to be a charge, surely. No, I think they're going to go blocking. No, they are. Oh, interesting, Aaron. Gavin Williams, our baseline referee, I think he was about to signal for a block.
And I think it's between the 2 refs and whoever is the primary official, I believe, at that point. It's my referee knowledge, very elementary, but I think it wasn't Gavin Williams and was one of the other referees who was on the left side. So,
but I think that's the right call, though. I think he got set perfectly.
So, I guess they got it right. Not to Tevin Allison, though. He didn't believe that they got the right call.
I'm not quite sure he agreed with the decision. But again, you saw how he played there in transition. Tevin Allison, as soon as they came up with the Wang miss dunk, he had one thing in his mind: play up tempo, get the ball up the court. Let's put Surrey under pressure. Bristol have to play a little bit quicker. They played, as you mentioned, they took more 3-pointers in the first half. If they could use their strengths, they could definitely come back.
And I think that comes out of getting stopped. So as you mentioned, Wang missed the dunk there. leading to a transition opportunity. Here's Wang again for 3, but now Surrey's defense not set. So if I'm Jacob, I'm going attacking Quinn Cooper right now, and there we go. Maybe crashing the glass. I'm not getting that one to go, but good attempt. You want attempts at the rim against some of the weaker defenders like Quinn Cooper when the defense isn't set.
Morgan Denby checking into the game. Spent the majority of his career playing for the Surrey Scorchers. Also played for them when they were known as the Guildford and Surrey Heat. Wang looking to attack here. Hangs in the air, takes a tough one, but can't get it. Good defense again by the Flyers.
Again, Allison doesn't see the numbers, but would have been a good time to push if they did have.
Lawrence is going to get called for the foul. This is going to be the 4th and final team foul against the Scorchers here in the 3rd quarter.
And I think that's the veteran savvy of Lawrence. You know, he could tell his maybe a team wasn't fully set on defense. Knew he has a foul to give. Decides to commit one on the floor, get his team set and ready to guard on a 14-second shot clock. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. Maybe he just wanted to foul. He's getting tired, but I'm believing that Lawrence knew exactly what he's doing there.
The basketball brain had the honor, obviously the privilege of being his teammate from the youth days when we played at the Tassis club team. One thing about Andrew Lawrence is he reads the game exceptionally well. As he progresses now into the veteran years of his career. Trying to go back door.
Bradley to the left hand again.
That's a good move, but it's a tough one though. I mean, somebody's got to try and crash the board or something in that case, but
tough shot. I think Quinn Cooper is down in a collision in transition. Definitely unintentional, but looks like he's hurting over there. Corey Samuels apologizing graciously, but that's the issue. Without Brad Green on the floor and maybe 4 guards spaced on the perimeter, when that shot goes up, you don't have anybody under the rim ready to crash. And Surrey gets out in transition after a miss, and I guess Quinn Cooper unfortunately got hit there, but could have led to an open 3. So another thing to think about if you're Coach Kapul is how long are you going to keep Brad Green out, whether it's conditioning or fouls. But it really does hurt the Bristol Flyers team when he's not in there due to his impact offensively and defensively, even without the ball.
Well, the magnitude of this game, Bristol will really want to win this one, because if they don't, they're only going to be 1 game behind in terms of victories, or ahead, excuse me, of the Scorchers. So another foul has been committed. That's only the 3rd team foul against Flyers. This one is against Levi Bradley.
Maybe that's the veteran savvy of Levi Bradley too, taking the Scorchers out of their offense too. And they love running that play where they would have a guard, the Scorchers set a back screen on a big man, hoping that the guards man gets to bump and they can come for a handoff 3 as well.
Well, Bailey setting an illegal screen. That's a good call in my mind. Didn't quite look like he set his feet, but also, I mean, look, you are a very unique player in the sense I say on paper you're a power forward, but you know, you can post up, you play on the perimeter. How frustrating is it when you have your centers, your power forwards that just set those illegal screens because they just move in at the last moments?
Yeah, I think it's just more, you know, the center trying to do the right thing and actually make contact, but almost trying too hard and ended up the possession going the other way. So yeah, when our big men come to set ball screens for myself and some of the other guards, they're told to just, you know, stand there, and it's our job as ball handlers to set them up, set our man up for the ball screen and run our man into the big.
You're not going to miss Ethan Chagwa, that's for sure. That guy's a big fella.
Or Skylar White or David
Skylar White, yeah. I find it amazing when Skylar White sets ball screens. He's never rolling to the bucket. You know, he might even pop out to the sideline where the bench is, but teams still struggle to defend that pick and pop with you guys.
Yeah, I think the pressure he puts on the defense, you know, knowing that he's going to shoot it, makes it big, almost second guess being there in front of the ball handler, knowing he has to run out to Skylar. But Skylar will roll. He's got a nice little post goon. He's waiting to bring that out, so tune in maybe.
When's that happen? 2030, I think.
I don't want to set a date on it, but sometime soon, hopefully.
Cooper's made 5 threes. Is he going to make 6? Yes, he will. Quinn Cooper, as they would say in Spanish, está fuego. He is on fire at the moment. 6 3-pointers. He's cooking. Good penetration. Another foul's called.
And Surrey love running that play. Now there's a stop in action. I think, wait, maybe a technical or a warning on Andrew Lawrence speaking to the referees, but running that play where instead of the the big men rolling to the bucket, he's going to set a pin down on the wing, and that wing actually is going to back screen, and then Quinn Cooper coming from the corner is going to fly off a second pin down from the big. So it's almost decoy action to get Quinn Cooper as 6'3", and I think that's one of the things that Lloyd Gardner is really renowned for, is some ingenuity in offense, but also, unfortunately, on the bad end of this call with another technical foul, or no, not another, but his first.
I think it's a bench technical, but I think
bench technical, okay.
Something's been said. I think there's been a reaction. Lloyd's trying to say, I don't think it came from my bench. But Gavin Williams, our referee, he is one of the best in the British Basketball League. You know, he's done a lot of work for Basketball in Wales, experienced referee, but you know this, you're a pro basketball player. I say this all the time to Zane, you've always got to adapt to the game of the referees. And, we get frustrated. We have to remember they are human beings, but you got to sometimes not react in the heat of the moment, because you don't want that to come back and fire at you.
I think it's everybody's competitive nature to be frustrated over any calls, but you got to remember, as you mentioned, the referees are people as well, and they're doing the best job they can, just as players are trying to compete out on the floor, and we're trying to commentate. The refs are still doing the best they can. So
that sequence right there, I love that right. Lloyd's getting infuriated. Gavin's like, yep, okay, let's play. Anyone who knows Lloyd Gardner, he's the nicest guy in the world, but very competitive. I think his team could win tonight. No doubt, emotions are holding high, but his third free throw's missed.
There's the offensive rebound for Bristol, and another silly foul there. If I'm Quinn Cooper or Elliot Bailey, first of all, I need to block out and make sure Ralph Thomas Edwards doesn't get a free throw rebound, as he did yesterday against us. But secondly, if he's in that position, away from the bucket, I'm just keeping my hands up, making that shot as tough as possible, because now he's got two easy ones as opposed to a tough hook shot outside the paint.
And it's tough as well for Surrey, because they don't necessarily have a backup center. Hunt's got injured. He may be out for the rest of the season. We don't know how it's gone. So he has to really play small ball, the definition of it, when Saquon Jameson's out of the game. So you're right there. They got to block out. But, Rafa Thomas Edwards, in a box out against either Teo Gandembe or Elliot Bailey at this point, you're probably going to take Rafa Thomas Edwards in that scenario.
Yeah, Teo secures the rebound here.
Well, Basel fans, that's the end of the third quarter. At the moment, Surrey in control of this one. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back momentarily. Welcome back. Final 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Surrey Scorchers have turned this one around, and Lloyd Gardner, now in his second season as head coach of the Surrey Scorchers, up against the experienced coach of Andreas Kapoulis. Well, Lawrence currently in the backcourt. Bailey on the floor along with Teo Gandembi. Cooper, who is 6 for 6 from the three-point line tonight.
Another switch and ill-advised pass from Lawrence, but the Surrey Scorchers get to keep it.
Well, they get away with that one, but as you mentioned, it's interesting how they went for that post entry, and Bristol, they just swarmed and collapsed on him.
It's hard to throw a post entry unless it's to Brad Green from the top down. You usually want it on the wings when the corners can't help in.
Well, they got to get the ball inbound. Lawrence, quick three off the handoff. Three is up. No good. Still battling now. Who did that get the last touch off? That is going to be Bristol ball here, trailing by 9 points.
Interested to see what Bristol run in these non-Brad Green minutes. Look like they're giving the ball to Levi, Ketty Ollison, and maybe a Levi Bradley post up on that right block that he likes.
Johnson penetrates, goes in, doesn't get the and one, but I think he will go to the free throw line here for 2 shots.
Levi Bradley there, I think, almost set that ghost screen, if you will, where you fake like you're setting a ball screen and slip right out of it. So as the ball screen defender, you don't know whether to stay in coverage or stay with your man, and that gave Ketty Johnson a wide open lane to attack, as he does best.
Well, now you mentioned something very interesting there. You mentioned the term ghost screen. Now we've had to explain to our viewers what a 2-3 zone defense is. What is a ghost screen?
Yeah, so it's kind of in the name, whereas like a ghost is maybe there, maybe not. So the same thing as a normal ball screen is when you make contact with the ball handler's defender. A ghost screen is when you maybe brush by him, pretending to set a screen and actually slipping out. So there's no actual contact, hence the name ghost. But there's still an advantage gained because maybe the ball screen defenders, the other big man, doesn't know if you're setting a screen, whether to stay in front of the ball handler or just go with his man. And in that case, he just went with his man, leaving Ketty Johnson a wide open lane.
Well, they were down by 12. They cut it down to 7 points. Bailey finding Teo Gandembi. Oh, Gandembi! Well, veteran player with the Bunnies.
Turning back the clock. I haven't seen a dunk from him.
Back to the future, I'd like to call that
year.
one. Now, let me tell you something. He is from West London, Ealing. I remember playing against him as a kid, and he used to elevate very high. And what a professional he's been in his career.
There's that same play with the ghost screen. This time, Ketty Johnson attracts 2 because he went to the line last time, leaving Levi Bradley wide open for a pick and pop shot. So there's both aims of the screen, and Quinn Cooper curling to the bucket again. And that's what happens when you when you shoot 6 threes and make them all. That you want to get Chase off that line, and no help side from Bristol. Easy layup.
Listen, I'm going to ask you a question. The Oyster Card works in London. Did he maybe take a few too many steps in that
I don't
layup?
think he had possession of the ball. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Say,
He's also not used to being inside the three-point line.
Because you
so
can
he
travel
doesn't
with
know.
the Oyster Card in London. I don't know if it works in the West Country.
I think they're implementing something similar over in Bristol. So. There he is, back behind the line, but doesn't shoot that one.
Well, Bailey going in. Now it's back to a 10-point ball game. A 4-0 run coming from Surrey Scorchers just when Bristol was starting to build some momentum. And I think Coach Kapoulis might be listening to you, Aaron, because the big man, the big green machine, is getting ready to check back in, which means we're probably going to see. That's got to be a charge. Well, Aaron, you are the expert. I'm going to let you break this one down. To me, that was clear as daylight.
Yeah, I think I'm not a referee, so I'm going to preface it by saying that. But
oh, no. You don't get to be an expert like that. Let's have a look at the replay here. Was he set, though?
I believe that's a charge. I think they might have got it wrong. But you said refs are humans. They make mistakes, and maybe that could be one mistake there. They've got maybe 15 other calls right in a row.
They've done a phenomenal job tonight. No doubt about it. We got Farouz. We got Gavin Edwards. I keep saying Gavin Edwards. He's a professional player in Japan. Gavin Williams, sorry. He's a good friend of mine as well.
There's a screen, the
very good
action.
referees.
And there's the attention that Brad Green draws, where Bailey picks up maybe his 4th foul. Not because Brad Green even had the ball, because he was crashing for the offensive rebound. He's got some choice words for the referees, too.
I think he may have fouled out, actually.
Oh, that's his 5th, then.
Yeah. So I think Saquon James is definitely, again, it's a good call there. You can see no attempt to box him out. It's pushing him right in the back. Interesting. Now, he's British, but he actually played his college basketball in Canada for one of the best programs.
Yeah, I believe Carleton as well. They have a history of winning. Here's Andrew Lawrence on the break. And
I think that's going to count because there's an interference on the block shot.
Oh, yeah, back to Bailey. He's played for one of the best programs in Canada, Carleton. Not a lot of people know about that, so shout out to you,
Carleton,
Josh.
Explain to Carleton University, because Canadian university basketball doesn't get quite the hype. My brother's currently playing for Queen's University, but Carleton especially, they're renowned for defeating USA NCAA programs.
Yeah, especially mid-major programs, they get the best of them, but even high-major programs as well. I think they beat Syracuse one time, Alabama, Arkansas, so big-name programs, they've got the better in it. There's always a caveat where, Carleton has practiced through August, and it's the first time that some of these programs are playing, but that just still shows the pedigree of Canadian basketball. And Teo from his favorite corner over there can't get that one to go.
Well, that's going to go out of bounds. Now, a bit about your history. You actually play at probably one of the best academies in world basketball. Juan Thon Maka, the international player originally from South Sudan but plays for Australia, went to Orangeville Prep just like you, and that is renowned as one of the best basketball academies in the world.
Yeah, we had a great team. I think it was great for my development, playing against guys who were way better than me at that point, and it really made me compete and elevate my game at a higher level to take me to where I am right now. And Andrew Lawrence finally gets one to go. Tough ball screen 3 from him.
Well, it's looking gloom now for the Flyers, down by 15. But they've got to dig deep here. We're under 7 minutes. This is a good Bristol team. They played against Aaron Ryan, the Phoenix, last night. They almost won that one. They're going to make a comeback. There's a foul committed by Teo Gadembe.
That's one thing to look out for there. Well, if I'm Bristol and I need to come back in this game, the one way I can do so is to stop the clock, and they're 1 away from the penalty. So next foul, they're in the penalty, and they're shooting 2 free throws with 6:41 to go. So if I could get points on the board and stopping the clock, that's one way to come back in this game.
Well, got to give the ball to the big fella. Green trying to post up. Nice little seal off. Green goes in. That's what you want for the big man. Feed the big green machine.
I think Saquon Jameson is being a little careful in his post defense, knowing that they've called a couple fouls and the next one's in the penalty as well, giving them 2 shots.
Oh, interesting. Bristol haven't committed a foul this quarter.
Yeah, and then the vice versa. Bristol can be even more aggressive on the ball, knowing that they still have fouls to give before the penalty as well.
Well, only one man out there trying to battle for offensive boards, and that's Saquon Jameson. 6 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Can Bristol build some momentum here? They say the game of basketball is all about runs. Now we're under 10. For Thomas Edwards, twisting, turning, goes in, just can't get it.
And I don't know about that shot if I'm Bristol. If I'm Coach Kapoulis, I don't necessarily want to Raf Thomas Edwards isolation when I have maybe Tevin Allison or Brad Green in the post. Tevin Allison in the ball screen. Those would be my first 2 options for offense.
Finding Padilla Wang. Trying to come off one ball screen. Jameson's got to be careful. He doesn't want to set a moving screen. Wang's got to force up a Hail Mary 3-pointer.
And Jameson, another great offensive rebound, battling Brad Green down there.
That's tough on Brad Green because he's trying to keep him off the offensive board, but just got out of position slightly. Robinson going in, reverse layup, followed by Saquon.
There's the second one, and Robinson is
problem here
down.
for Surrey, Aaron.
Hopefully just a tweaked ankle, nothing too major that he can run off.
Well, here's a man who did come back from a year away. Now, hopefully it's not the same knee he had surgery on, because
I think it's that left foot. Just tie it tight and don't think about it. It'll definitely start bothering him on Monday morning and Tuesday morning, but he'll be happy if he can leave here with a win and just play through it for sure.
Well, it would be a monumental victory, but this game is far from over, of course. We both know this. 5:07. Bristol, they're that kind of team. Couple threes, couple stops. But they're going to have to be very, efficient here, because, we are now halfway through the 4th quarter.
Yeah, their execution's got to be a lot better. There's another pick and pop 3 for Levi. Great look, didn't drop, but I think Coach Coolest had to take out Brad Green because they were attacking him in the ball screen coverage and getting downhill a little too easy, and now they're trying to go with a smaller lineup, keep the ball in front of them, and maybe make a run with it by being aggressive defensively and going for steals, just as Levi Bradley did there. Hands behind his head, can't believe it, but I don't think any basketball player ever believes they committed a foul. I don't think I've ever fouled in my life, so I have the same reaction.
Well, Bristol fans, 4:41 to go. We're going to take a short break, and we will be back momentarily. Well, final moments here in the fourth quarter. His team down by 15 points. Again, it's been a tough weekend here for the Bristol Flyers. They had to go up against a very good team who just recently won the trophy. Well, I happen to be right next to one of the players that had it, but today against an inspiring Surrey team. And if Bristol do lose this, Surrey would be one win away, and the king of South Sudan, again, just laying down the throne. And now it's a 17-point deficit, Aaron.
Yeah, I think even at this point, it might be too much to overcome for the Flyers, but I wouldn't stop believing if I'm them as well. Surrey switching all the ball screens now, point switching, keeping the ball in front, even if there's a mismatch on the floor, preventing the Flyers from really getting the paint. There's great defense by Lawrence and forcing Keedy Johnson to a tough shot, but still getting free throws out of it as well.
Yeah, Andrew Lawrence may have just got nutmegged there on the floor. I think Johnson may have just put the ball back between his legs, but 2 free throws coming up.
Back to his Chelsea days.
Ole, I would say. Well, for those who would like to know more about Aaron Wright, not only is he a superstar professional basketball player and also very intelligent. Where'd you go to? Was it
Dartmouth College?
Yeah,
shout out
Ivy League.
Shout out the Big Green. Tough start to their season, Ivy League season this year, but
and you're also a big Arsenal fan as well.
Big Arsenal fan as well, yeah.
Well, thank God you're not a Man United fan, because Aston Villa just equalized.
I don't mind hearing that then.
Well, the second free throw goes missing. 16-point ball game. Surrey trying to close this one out, but 4:05 to go here in the fourth quarter.
If I'm Surrey, I just want long, methodical possessions here, using all the shot clock, getting the best looks possible. Really take time off the clock, get the ball in Wang's hands to finish it off.
Lawrence now has to step back. Tough three-pointer. This one's up. Back iron, can't get it. 3:45 to go. Flyers trailing by 16 points.
Bristol got to go here. They don't have enough time to walk the ball up on the court. There's
another foul committed, so free throws coming up. Should be no arguments whatsoever from that foul.
Yeah, they got their money's worth. Trajan Jacob is definitely going to feel that tomorrow morning, but good job going quickly, attacking the rim, stopping the clock, hopefully getting 2 points.
Well, you can pick who you like to call for that foul. Well, Trajan Jacob, of course, he's had some very good games this season. He's definitely a very exciting player, but I mean, Bristol's just going through that patch. They started the season very well. Many people were talking about them. You listen to the content creators of British basketball, all the podcasts. A lot of people liked them, but you know, you got to learn how to ride the adversity at this point in the season, because you know, if you finish 8th, 7th, or 6th, first of all, if you're number 8, you're probably going to face Lions in the playoffs.
Yep.
7th or 6th, it's either you guys or Caledonia. So you want to push it to 5-4 if you can.
I mean, I think as well, we mentioned this with Caledonia and even Newcastle, that, you know, they've played in Europe at the beginning of the season. I think that fatigue is starting to wear on them.
Yeah.
As it comes down to February, where teams who haven't played as many games are feeling a little fresher, even on back-to-backs, where, you know, they don't have that same sort of, you know, pep in their step and energy. And it's showing today.
Well, here we go. Oh my goodness! Are you kidding me? The king of South Sudan flying with his Royal Ennis.
And that was a pre-drawn up play by Lloyd Gardner.
Sorry at the moment, Aaron. Again, I think they're just emotionally getting that. Well, here we go, here we go. Padilla Wang with the bang bang up there. He flew in the sky. I know you can do that too, Aaron. I know you can connect. People have told me rumors. Richard McNutt, a.k.a. Mackey, sent me a text message and said, Aaron catches lobs in practice. When are we going to see you do that in the game?
I just can't. After guarding for 25, 30 minutes and running up. I mean, you guys saw the trophy final. I got a fast break. I was looking to pass to one of my teammates, Cam Christian, who's got way more ups than me, but he told me to dunk that and said something afterwards that I won't repeat on camera. And I did my best. Attempt, barely got over the rim. If you give me fresh legs and an open run out, I can show you some things, but nothing close to what Paddy went.
You've now said it. I'm getting a train up to Ellesmere Port at some point in the year to see that. I'm coming to one practice. Well, 3 minutes to go now here in the fourth quarter. 17-point ball game. Surrey do seal off the job. He goes in with a layup, but he puts too much on it.
Should have probably dunked that one as well.
Time winding down. Wang's got to force this one up. Goes in with a fadeaway, and again, good night to everybody watching back in Surrey and the city of Guildford. Now it's the biggest lead of the game at 19 points. It's all a consolation at the moment here for Bristol. There is 2:26 to go, but it is a Mount Everest to climb here at the moment for the Flyers.
And it seems like they've waved the white flag. Lucas isn't picking Wang up full court, letting him dribble the ball out, taking time off the clock. So I think they've conceded at this point, but hell of a performance from Wang, really steering him to the win here, doing everything inside out, passing the ball, rebounding, guarding. So kudos to him, and almost gets a
cut it down
Hakeem
now.
Olajuwon type block, but Jacob sneaks that in before he could get around to him.
14-point deficit, just under 2 minutes. Surrey being a little bit too casual with the ball. Flyers credits him, just keep on battling. Obviously coming off one screen. Well, things getting a little bit heated now between referees, just trying to calm things down in the moments.
And I think that's the frustration of, 2 games and being in this tough position in the weekend. Allison's really given it his all, and maybe a little frustrated with his team's performance as well, and just trying to ignite some last-minute energy. And kudos to him for a great performance both games this weekend, and can't really fault any of the losses on him, honestly.
It's a collective game, of course. You win as a team, you lose as a team. The old cliche, they have to figure it out together. This loss will take them just one game, as I mentioned. Sound like a broken record, but Surrey at some point in the season, you thought Bristol were out of sights, but now there's just one win behind them. Finding Jameson fumbles it. 90 seconds to go. Jacob trying to push his Landolfi straight off the bench.
That's what he does. Maybe a little cold from sitting for 38 odd minutes, but good shot in transition.
Well, the Scorchers fans, winning was not a regularity for them in the last 2 years, but you definitely say it's happened again. It's a back-to-back victory this weekend. Still with a deep three, this one's up, can't get it. Now we're under a minute, 14-point ball game. Surrey looking to close this one out as Bradley's gonna go in and lay this one up. But where next now for these two teams? Surrey, good performance in the second half, but what about the Flyers?
Well, Surrey had a great trophy campaign, so this shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. But I think the Flyers honestly need to just take some time and figure out, their approach off the court, like keeping everybody healthy and intact. Because when they are clicking on all cylinders, they are a tough three, and Mohammed celebrating that dagger three at the end. But the Flyers are a great team, tough team to play, and I think that just the schedule's got to them, honestly, and giving them some time to really take some time off the court, regroup, to be able to come back and get a couple wins, hopefully next week and through the next couple of weeks before international break.
17 three-pointers for the Surrey Scorchers tonight. They've done it so many times this year. They set the record. Just a little bit of time, of course, left in the game. Cam Gooden, job done. The king of South Sudan. Question is, will he be going to feature for the South Sudanese national team for the FIBA Afro-Basket qualifiers coming up? Well, the other game currently going on, Caledonia Gladiators hosting the Leicester Riders. That's also on the British Basketball League Live YouTube. Tahir Hadjid, Michaela Nelson calling that game. Well, phenomenal performance here tonight from the Scorchers. Again, as you mentioned, no surprise whatsoever. 17 for 33 from the perimeter, 51% from downtown. When they make three-pointers, Aaron, they become very tough to beat. Well, Basel fans, it has happened again. Surrey Scorchers win this one, 94-81 against the Bristol Flyers. What a game we had tonight, Aaron Rye.
Yeah, I mean, really slow start from the Scorchers, and then they lived up to their name of the Scorchers, hitting 17 shots. Patty Wang, one heck of a performance off a back-to-back. I think 25 points, almost triple-double, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, only 1 turnover. Did a masterful job taking care of the ball, dishing his teammates, attacking the rim, putting pressure, and really kind of putting the Bristol Flyers to bed. So team win, but obviously kudos to Patty Wang and for delivering it for the Scorchers, and a little dance to celebrate.
So he's definitely your player of the game.
Definitely my player of the game. I don't know about the fans or yourself, but I'm
on board with you.
I'm giving it to Patty Wang for sure.
I mean, obviously, other players definitely stepped up this game. Quinn Cooper, 6 for 6 on the perimeter, but as you mentioned, near triple-double numbers. That's no argument. That's a no-brainer. This guy was phenomenal. The human highlight of the British Basketball League, the king of South Sudan, Padilla Wang. I'm not surprised you picked him as player of the game. Well, collective effort now here from this Surrey Scorchers team, a team that was used to losing every week, losing at home, losing on the road, but now in Lloyd Gardner's second season as head coach, they've slowly but surely found a winning formula. Well, no doubt a disappointing exit from the British Basketball Trophy, but you know, a return now to winning ways. Positive signs for them.
Yeah, honestly, nothing to be surprised about. They play a good brand of basketball, Surrey. Lloyd really has them clicking on all cylinders. I think the trophy kind of gave them a little bit of momentum to carry on to the regular season, where some teams might be feeling a little tired and out of rhythm, like Bristol and Newcastle after playing all those European games. So Scorchers are ready to pounce, and I think I saw a smile from Lloyd. So he's done arguing with the referees, and
that
a little
is
happier.
A solar eclipse, if that meant. I know Lloyd Gardner very well. Well, Basel fans, let's break down this game statistically as we run back. As we mentioned, phenomenal shooting night from the perimeter here for the Surrey Scorchers. 17 for 33 from the perimeter. But Aaron, what do the other stats tell you about this game?
I think at halftime, Surrey had 7 turnovers. They finished the game with 9. So that was a big way that they sealed out this game. They only turned the ball over twice in the second half, keeping the ball, allowing them to shoot. As I mentioned at halftime, they shot the ball really, really well when they got shots up. So keeping that ball, allowing them to keep shooting, created this massive lead and allowed them to keep getting threes up, and we saw Padilla Wang and Quinn Cooper masterclass over there.
Well, of course, 19 free throws made. There you can see the fixtures and results on the 8th of February. London Lions, of course, winning against Sheffield Sharks. Leicester Riders winning against the Patriots. And Newcastle Eagles taking care of business against the Caledonia Gladiators. Well, Scorchers, they started yesterday with a huge victory against the Plymouth City Patriots. And unfortunately, it's back-to-back defeats here for the Bristol Flyers. Well, today, of course, we've had some exciting games. Newcastle Eagles setting the record straight and winning on the road in front of a max-capacity crowd in Manchester. London Lions taking care of business in Yorkshire. There's one more game to go this evening, Basel fans. Later on, you can flip over on the YouTube channel of the British Basketball League as Caledonia are hosting currently the Leicester Riders, but it's all over as Surrey Scorchers. Look at that, Aaron. If we go back to October, November, Scorchers and Bristol, it was a million miles away, but at the moment, it's only one win that separates these two teams.
Yeah, as I mentioned, you know, Scorchers riding off their rhythm, hot shooting, hot playing, Padilla Wang playing above the rim, and I think that the vibes in the Scorchers camp are really good. You can see that smiling, dancing, and honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way if I was the Scorchers there.
Well, of course, he was the man who broke the heart of many Scorchers fans in the British Basketball League Trophy semi-final. Had a phenomenal performance, but paying a lot of homage to a much-needed win for the Scorchers. Well, Basketball fans, we thank you for joining us here live on the British Basketball League YouTube. I'm your commentator, Josh Bed. He is the trophy champion of the Knicks Nation, Aaron Rye. Make sure you go and watch Caledonia Gladiators as they currently face the Leicester Riders. But for now, it's good night and goodbye.